are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Welcome to the LA Street Angel show here in the heart of Hollywood at T Radio V. And so I am Mandelyn Reese. I'm known as the Street Angel or the LA Street Angel. I've got my show here in Hollywood, which is such a blessing because I've devoted it to helping and serving others in the world and humanity and trying to get us reconnected, nice, kind, encourage random acts of kindness. I wear angel wings everywhere, including the airports and festivals and red carpets, and I promote kindness, positive messages, and hopefully we can all work together for a greater cause, a greater good for all. So that is me, and today is a special topic. It's going to be kind of epic and personal for me. It's about twin flames, the concept of it, what is it, how do you know if you got it, that kind of thing. So my guest co-host today is my soul sister, Anna Julia.
Hey, I'm back.
Yay, she's back. She's actually from Brazil, but she's living in LA now, and so we got her, and then our guest speakers, we have, they're going to be Skyping in from Washington, I believe. We have Jill and Remi. Are you there?
Here. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Jill. Hey, Remi.
So they are known as the Twin Flame Healers. They actually have a pretty big following of people who want guidance and counseling through the turbulence of the Twin Flame connection. So, cool if we should just go into it now?
Let's go into it.
Let's roll, because once we get started, there's no going back.
It's funny how you always have me on your love shows. People know what we talk about when we're together.
Well, you got to have your girly friends that you talk stuff about.
When we're together, we always talk about boys. And we may or may not watch The Bachelor together, so.
And eat chocolate and wine. And so anyway, Twin Flames. So, Jill and Remi, let's address what is, in your best effort to explain, the Twin Flame connection.
Okay. So, Twin Flames are two people who come together for the purpose of uplifting and serving humanity. It's not so much about the romance and the fairy tale. It's really about two powerful souls coming together to serve. That's the heart of it. So it's really about mission. And it's also a spiritual union. It's a union that's taking place when two souls meet as twin flames. Something gets activated in both of you, and we'll be talking later about what happens when you meet your twin. But it's also an activation and an initiation that happens for both twin flames that sets their life on a different course forever. Once you meet your twin, you're never the same. And I have a feeling you two know what we're talking about, and a lot of other listeners today who have this experience. So twin flames are also here to create a new template of relationship on the planet. And we're not talking about only male and female. We've seen twin flames who are male-male, who are female-female. That does not matter.
But it doesn't matter traits and if you're gay or straight or, any of that stuff, like, or black or white or Asian or whatever.
No, in fact, we'll talk about obstacles later because most twin flames, if not all, when they come together, they bring with them things that would be insurmountable obstacles, like opposing religions, really big age differences, same gender in a culture where that is absolutely no-no. So that's one thing twin flames are here to do, is to help harmonize polarity on the planet.
So it's not necessarily romantic. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, almost always there is an element of deep attraction because there's a magnetism that is so strong that most twin flames do experience attraction for each other. Not always, but that's rare that there's no attraction.
It's like love bridging the traits, basically.
Very much so.
So, y'all are twin flames.
Yeah, we are. We had to really figure it out because it took us through a major ride along the way.
Oh, please tell the story. Please share. I love romantic stories.
Okay. Well, let me say a little bit more about twin flames to start off with. I'll add a little bit of an extra angle. It's useful to think in terms of like twin flames. What is that? Some people say it's the same soul that's split into two and so on. So our perspective, our experience is that we're two different souls that are coming into union more and more and more fully. So if you think in terms of souls splitting off from the Godhead forever ago when we went on the journey of incarnation, then there's a piece that breaks off, a giant piece, and then breaks into smaller pieces. And then each of those small pieces is a soul. The last group to break off are our soul group, and the last one of the soul group to break off are the twin flames. So we're closer to that soul than to anybody else. And it's a more powerful, greater energy than with any other relationship.
Well, I was going to kind of interlace my personal story with it because I thought it was very relevant to the whole topic and why I wanted to do it in the first place, because I did feel that immediate connection that felt so profound. And I've met a lot of men in my life. I go to a lot of networking events. I've come into contact, but I've never felt anything quite like this before. It was very unique, and I felt like this, it was so strong, and I haven't been able to, cut it off or stop it or turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Has it been like that for you?
For me, it was more, when I met this person, it was more like I had known him for my whole life. It's like it was instant connection. I knew what he was talking about. We got each other. We can read each other's minds almost. Yeah. It's this connection that is really hard to shake off. And it's almost like what you guys said of being super close. It's exactly like that. It's maybe like we were one at one point, and now we're not.
Yeah, there does seem to be two schools of people. The ones that are like, oh, you only have one twin flame, but then you have people that are like, no, you can make your twin flame anyone you want to be. It's a reflection of blah, blah, blah. And I'm a little more inclined to being with, there is kind of that one epic person that just burns your soul. Like, that at least is how it's felt for me.
But the difference is, the basic difference between soulmates and twin flames is how you guys, what's the difference? Is it... Yeah. What's the difference? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great question. Soulmates, in our experience, can be anybody. They can be your mom. They can be your cat. Okay. They can be, you guys are
friends.
Probably soulmates. Yeah, friends. If you feel that strong sense of kinship and immediate recognition with someone, that's a soulmate on some level. But soulmates have a lot of different purposes depending on what you two agreed to do together this lifetime. You could agree to come in and just teach a lesson to somebody. So soulmates don't always have to be positive relationships too. Sometimes they can be really hard relationships, but they're teaching us something. A twin flame has a specific set of characteristics, and our perspective is you only have one. There are other soul group members that can be like near twins, where they're very close to you and can evoke a lot of the same feelings. But our perspective is it's one twin.
That's what I'm thinking.
And it's usually not necessarily for the romantic purpose. It's for the greater good. That's what you're saying.
That's the primary purpose. However, we are strong believers that a lot of twin flames do want to come into what is called 3D union, like we have. They want to be together, do a mission together in the 3D, join their energies and their gifts in a really real, tangible way, and be in relationship. A lot of twin flames want that, and they're working toward it. There's just a lot that gets in the way.
I do feel like when I met him, he imprinted on me, like in that movie Twilight with the wolves. They're like, we imprinted on somebody, and like he imprinted on me, and I can't move past it. Even I tried to date someone else, and it was like all I could think about was the twin flame, and so I was like, I didn't know what to do.
So, yes, she's sure that she has met her twin flame.
Right.
I hope I haven't, because if I have, it's sad that I'm not with him right now. But can you guys explain how we know if we met our twin flame, or is he my twin flame? Can you guys give me hints?
You want me to address? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it can be a little tricky. Remi and I, we didn't know about twin flames when we first met. I found out about it after. But had I known about twin flames, I probably could have fooled myself in a couple earlier relationships, thinking, that's my twin flame. However, I will say, when you meet your twin, it's a totally different experience than anything you've ever had before. It activates your kundalini. Latent gifts come to the surface. The person it's an imprint. That's such a great way to put it. They camp out in your mind, heart, and soul 24/7. It's rare that we're not thinking about each other all the time. And we hear that from other twins all the time. Also, the connection doesn't ever fade. It can ebb and flow. Like if we're upset with each other, we kind of push each other away energetically temporarily, and I don't feel him as much, but he comes right back. Mm-hmm. So that's the hallmark of a true twin. They imprint. It doesn't go away. It may ebb and flow, but you can't just cut cords with them. You can't just say bye-bye.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way.
I know that feeling. Is it possible for twin flames to look similar physically?
Oh, yeah.
Some people talk about looking similar, so I don't know how similar we look. If I open my...
We don't man boobs. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, me and my twin, I think we look very similar
in terms of face and age, and like for some women, we have one twin flame, a couple of twin flame couples where the female is 30 some years older than the man, so there's age differences, and we have male and male from different cultures and so on. So a lot of them don't look similar. Most of them don't look similar. But in terms of the energies are very in sync. Yeah. So there can be a variety of blockages, but the issue is that the essence is the crux.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what that, like, last time I had been, like, we were hugging each other, and it just felt like this atomic bomb of love around us, and I felt high for 2 days after it. And I was like, I've never felt like that before with anybody, where it's like his essence, the feeling activated in me lasted that long. So, and I've been married before. This is a completely different feeling I get from the twin flame person than my past.
Yeah.
Is it possible that one person is sure we're twin flames and the other person doesn't even know or doesn't agree that they're twin flames?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to address that. So.
It often happens with a lot of our clients are women. They're more in touch with their feelings and more focused on
yes.
And a lot of the guys tend to not be clued into what's going on. Mm-hmm. They're not aware of it. And quite often, the guy is less spiritual, to use that term, and less in touch with what's going on inside of them. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of women are really concerned about it. I don't want to tell them about the twin flame gate because that'll scare them.
Right.
Yeah.
That resonates completely with my situation. I would describe him as he doesn't seem very spiritual or interested. In fact, he's not in my life at all right now. It's like he's just like, whatever, I don't care about you. And so I've just been really heartbroken over it. And so in the separation phase, which we'll go into the phases of the twin flame connection, but it's it's a struggle. It hurts a lot.
Meanwhile, the person I think is my twin flame, I told him, I'm like, I think you're my twin flame. And he's like, is there a way of knowing for sure? He was kind of like, he even said, if we go to Jill and Remi, will they be able to tell us, oh yeah, you guys are obviously twin flames. Is there a way of knowing for sure, or is it just knowing in your heart and that's it?
Yeah, we struggled with that for a while because a lot of twin flames go to psychics because you just want answers, right? Tell me what is going on. Yeah. And a lot of psychics can't read twin flames.
Okay.
So they'll just give you weird messages. So because we've both been burned by psychics, I was very hesitant to say, yes, for sure you are, or no, for sure you're not. So I avoided that for a long time. Mm-hmm. Then clients kept saying, we want to know, and I checked in and said, okay. So I actually have an energetic litmus test that I do. I work with the Akashic Records. So I get your birth information, open the Akashic Records, and then I scan you energetically. And there are certain things that happen energetically for twin flames that won't happen with soulmates. So I can tell now with a pretty high degree of confidence, yes or no.
Because that would make it so much easier. Because if we are twin flames, he said, okay, I'll do it. But if we're not, it's easier to walk away and nobody gets hurt, you know?
I have some tips. Like, I was so in tune with the twin flame thing, the feeling and the connection. I was dreaming about him all the time. And a lot of the dreams were actually, they came true, like they were premonitions. They happened later. And then some other ones were like validations that something he did actually did happen. And I had dreamt it. And that was freaky. And so I was like, whoa. And also when I look at him in his eyes, it's like I'm looking at a reflection of myself. And then I dreamed that very clearly. This one time I was dreaming that he was in front of me and I was facing him. And I'm looking at him, and then suddenly there's this glimmer over him, and I realized I was looking in a mirror, but it was his reflection. So, like, I was looking at the masculine, and it was so weird. I was like, whoa, this guy's got to be, like, twin flame. So, everything points to yes in my case, except he's not in my life right now, and it's hard.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the stages.
So this stuff you're talking about is really common in terms of people have a bunch of different kinds of experiences. Like for some people, they can read their twin's mind.
Yeah, that's what I have.
What's going on with them. They can feel if they're having a relationship with somebody else and so on, right? So you're really in touch with it brings up a whole lot of pain and suffering. So there's a communion that happens on the soul level, and there's a difference between the soul level and the personality level, where the guy, say, can be quite clueless about what's going on and can be focused elsewhere, but at the soul level, they're totally connected.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm at too. It's like sometimes I know what the other person is feeling or going through without even being in the same state, you know? I know if there's something happening, he knows if there's something happening, and I think that's also scary. That's also something that pushes people away, because knowing someone that well and that deeply can be scary.
Especially the guys. Like, they're often called the runners. Normally there's, like, typically a runner in the relationship, right?
Yeah, so quite often that's the male, but not always.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a feeling that you were the runner, Jill. By the way he said that.
It's interesting. We haven't had a full-blown separation, which is really unusual. Most twin flames, we'll talk about the stages at some point, but most twin flames do go through a period of quite long separation often. We haven't had that. We do mini separations. And we really take turns. It's like when something gets triggered, one of us will scuttle off for a while or throw a tomato at the other. And so we really energetically. Yeah, we don't.
That was cute. Scuttling and tomatoes. I like that.
So so let's talk about the phases, because we mentioned it so much. What are the phases of this twin flame relationship?
Yeah. So the first one is the meeting and the activation, and that is an experience like no other. When I first met Remi, you asked us to tell our story earlier. We won't go into a lot because that would take a lot of time. But when we met, I first saw his eyes, and it was just like, whoa, this opening. I can't even describe it. And we first met professionally, healer to healer. He was in Vancouver, I was in Indiana, so we had a Skype session. And it was like everything coming out of his mouth was what I thought. And so it was so weird. It's just what you were saying, Mandelyn, like another version of me in a male body.
Right.
What happened to me is at the end of that Skype conversation, I was shaking, my teeth were chattering, I was just pouring energy off of me. So a Kundalini activation happens for almost all twin flames when they first meet. Then you go into what's called the bliss phase or the bubble love phase. And that is where everything is perfect. It's like, what happens when you first meet is the souls wake each other up and activate each other at the soul level. And it's like you get to go home without dying. It's the most incredible thing. You come home to the soul.
Oh, wow, that's so beautiful. You get to go home without dying? Wow, modern day Shakespeare. Wow, that's so beautiful.
That makes total sense, because whenever my twin flame would tell me he was going to come over, my whole body would just start shaking, and I couldn't explain why he had that effect on me, because I've had no other guy affect me like that. But it's like I knew he would be coming, and I'd be like trembling all over. It's profound.
So the energy awakens is stage one. You want to talk about stage two?
Well, actually, how about in terms of all the energy happening? What happens is our energy system can't take all the energy that's coming in. Think in terms of like pipes for water or whatever. The pipes are too small. So what you have to do is you have to expand your field so that you can handle the energies more and more. And as you get closer and connect more fully again, you have to open those up again.
Remi, did you have the same reaction as she did? Were you also shaking? Was that profound for you as well?
My experience was different at the very, very beginning. So we connected where we had a session online and we did a trade and so my experience was, oh my God, what an incredible woman. And so then I asked her, semi-jokingly, not really jokingly whatsoever, if she'd like to travel the world with me.
Aww.
So I was married and 2 kids, so
wow.
I shut it down. I did not want to go into the experience of breaking up their relationship or whatever. So I was on my way to a trip to India, and basically didn't think about it. I shut it all down.
And I was thinking about him 24/7. So in the beginning, we had totally different experiences, more typical male-female at the beginning.
So phase 2.
Okay.
Well, I think we're going to go to commercial, right? Real quick, in 3 minutes. Okay. Do you want to do a short clearing of anything, or do you want to save it for the end of the show?
Let's do that. Mandelyn was talking earlier about something that's really common for twin flames. And that's the issue of having a bunch of pain and relating to us not being fully in sync.
Right.
So that means a couple of things. So we're physically separated, or we're together, but we're not in sync energetically as fully as we could be. So we're yearning for more. So let's ask for Archangel Michael and Lords of Karma to help to heal the part of us that really wants to run away and hide and forget about life. It's too painful to be here. I don't want it.
Yes, I need some clearing.
Yeah. So let's ask. We work with a variety of high beings, and we can talk about that with you after the commercial if you want. So let's ask for our Chinese goddess Kuan Yin to go into your belly, into your inner child, and clearing the pain and suffering that's there, the feeling of abandonment.
And rejection.
Rejection, totally forlorn.
And we do this for all the listeners as well as their twin flames.
Awesome. I think that'll be very helpful.
And let's ask this as well for, at the soul level, you can think of subpersonalities there too, as above, so below. So let's ask to clear for the inner child and the inner goddess and male side at the soul level too. It feels really abandoned. Because what happens, it's a soul grieving that happens. The souls just want to merge and it doesn't happen. So.
It's really hard when one is awake to it and the other is not. And you want so badly for them to wake up and realize it, like, hey, we've had past lives together, don't you remember? And they're like, oh, I don't even want you in my life, bye. It's like, it's really painful. So that's what I've been experiencing. But in the same time, it's helped me to grow, to be stronger in myself, and then also be like, well, I deserve someone who's going to really treat me right and bring into that really strong masculine that's going to like cherish and love me the way I deserve. You know what I'm saying? It helped me, force me to realize that.
Yeah. For the people who are listening who are not twin flames, think in terms of relationship that you're really connected with, in terms of the healing. Like if you really miss somebody that you're disconnected from, a partner, you can do these healing things in relation to them too.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to commercial now, and then when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation. We still have a lot more questions to address, so please stay with us and watch this epic conversation on Twin Flames here with the Street Angel Show at tradiov.com. Thank you. Stay with us.
LA Street Angel. LA Street Angel.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
This is Mandelyn Reese, the LA Street Angel, and I have my talk show here in the middle of Hollywood. So come hang out with me, learn some awesome, new, cool spiritual stuff. And it's every Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific time, tradiov.com.
LA Street Angel, call to heal these streets.
I'm Janet Richmond, and my show, The Higher Self Voice, is on T Radio V live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I do a healing each week for a guest using a soul scan technique that uncovers and dissolves the energetic causes of the problem. I also show you how to do it for yourself. It is a powerful healing show and one that you can't afford to miss. Please join me.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
And just hold on tight. LA Street Angel.
Hello, and welcome back to the Street Angel Show at T Radio V in Hollywood. We're talking about twin flames here with Anna Julia
Hi.
and then Jill and Remi on Skype. So we have still more. We were kind of talking about the stages, and we left off, I think, on the bliss bubble stage. So what comes after that? Or did you want to elaborate more?
No, I think that's enough for that. So the second stage is the bleep hits the fan.
Ah.
Is that
So
the third stage, right? Or
What's that?
That's the third stage, kind of?
But no, the meeting and the bliss stage, the bubble love stage,
okay.
and then the stuff comes up. So what happens is a bunch of light floods in, and then think of it as, we're made up of dark and light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as the light comes in, the darkness comes up to the surface to get purified and healed. A lot of people too say, and this is our belief, that twin flames aren't just clearing darkness for themselves, they're clearing broadly. So we call it template clearing. So, for example, you, Anna, being from Brazil, you're bringing in some of those energies, and as a twin flame, you're helping clean up, let's say, male-female relations in Brazil.
Oh, wow.
So wherever your ancestry is, you're going to help clear that up. If your religion, you'll help clear that up. Family dysfunctional patterns, you'll help clear that up. So then what happens is twin flames get to the work of healing. So all of this stuff starts coming up to the surface, and typically twin flames get overwhelmed, and they say, I felt great, now I feel like crap, it must be your fault, I'm out of here.
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
Typically,
It's your fault and no responsibility on the other end, right?
Right. Because you don't have a framework. If somebody sat down with you and said, this is what's going to happen, it's not their fault, you're doing this for humanity, then you could go through it without pointing the finger, but it feels personal between the twin flames. And then typically that results in a separation phase. A lot of twins don't make it past the separation phase. That's where a lot of them stop because they don't have the tools to know how to come back together. They don't know how to have the tools to heal the damage of the fights that have happened, or they just plain get scared. You might have something to say about this stage.
Yeah,
too.
so one of the big aspects that causes separation is the issue of all the stuff coming up to the surface to be transformed. Another one is the stuff we were talking about earlier, where you get flooded with all this energy. The way males and females are built, the way the brains are built is different. So males go into flooding, going into overwhelm a lot more easily than females do. So that's why it's the males that tend to run. So we have some relationships where the male is more connected with his yin side, right? So with emotions and so forth and bring the healing work, whereas the woman is less so. So she's the one who's going to get flooded and is more likely to run. So typically it's a woman, but think in terms of we have a male and female side. So sometimes with Jill and I, sometimes I'm the one who needs to take a break and so forth, and sometimes it's Jill, because we have both of us have a strong yin and yang side.
So when you need your breaks, do you just go take a little weekend trip away from each other, or go to the park? What do you do to take a break and just, a breather in a healthy way?
We can go take a break and go to another room. We can take a break and go see a movie. Sometimes if we have a sizable upset, I might take off for a week and go camping.
Okay.
So that kind of stuff.
So what I've heard from the person, okay, I'm just going to call him my twin flame. I'll just assume it. So from my twin flame, I hear he tells me all the time, you're too intense, you're too intense, you're too intense. Is that normal?
Totally normal. In fact, I don't think we've ever not heard that complaint.
Okay.
Because twin flame women need to be powerful. We have to be. If we were connected, because we're here to bring power back into femininity, we're here to bring this new template of. The other thing twin flames are doing is upgrade the male template and upgrade the female template and then upgrade them coming together. And again, even if you're in two female bodies or two male bodies, same thing. So yes, twin flame women tend to be very intense and twin flame men tend to be sensitive. So we this was a real
Okay,
for
I
us.
believe it. He's my twin flame. Done. Yeah.
So sensitivity and intensity often go like this, and the women's intensity floods the male. He doesn't know how to handle it. And we women sometimes don't know how intense we're being. I didn't know how I was impacting him. For me, I'd just be raising my voice a little bit, and he'd experience like a buffalo trampling over him. You know, and we call it the dragon in the house.
They trigger us in ways that we don't know how to handle yet. It's like,
that's right.
I feel like my twin is like shut off emotionally. He's just like, he's not even in his heart space. He's just down in the groin or something. I don't know what's going on with that. You know?
The women want to shake him awake. You want to grab him and shake him like this, and then he feels like this, right? So it's all understandable. It's understandable from the woman's side. It's understandable from the male side.
So,
and this is what we're here to help heal, so that we can do these relationships.
So you talked about usually after the separation, twin flames don't come back because they don't have the tools. What are these tools, and how can you guys help?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
So think in terms of just saying a little bit more about the male-female thing. One of the things that happens to little boys is that this is a bunch of research that shows that little boys are much more sensitive than little girls. They're slower to mature, and so they can get damaged by negativity in their environment more easily. So if there's a bonding issue.
Oh wow, that's mind-blowing. That's super. Wow. Okay, so continue.
That's a crucial issue. So, and it's the women that tend to want to do the healing work. So we have to work usually with the woman to do the healing work for herself, help to tone down her intensity and so forth, and become more balanced in terms of yin and yang and etc. Her bonding issues in terms of some childhood stuff that happened to her when she was 2 years old and mama wasn't there enough or whatever. So then those bonding wounds come up to the surface, and they get in the way of us communing more fully. I want to be filled up by my beloved over there so much, they scare the hell out of him, right? So we need to heal those kinds of things. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is that the guy has his own wounds, and we could say more about that. There's past life issues and so forth that I think in terms of the male template, in terms of past lives, going to war and so forth. So they have these gigantic wounds. And think in terms of early on in this lifetime, if the male has wounds from very early childhood, then he has to disconnect from his mother in order to develop a male identity, right? So I have to be more like that. So there's a separation from the primary bonding figure, if you will, right? So he has to shut down a part of his heart to become male. Part of it, for me, my experience growing up is that I didn't want to be male because males were bores, right? So males were, cut down all the trees and they start the wars and so forth. I had to do a bunch of healing with that template. So there's ways of healing that you can do that. We've tried all kinds of things. I've been working in the helping field now, a couple and family therapist and etc. for almost 40 years. So I've tried all kinds of things to help transform things, and we found that working with a field called energy psychology, a variety of methods there, and working with high beings to help transform the unresolved suffering within the male and within the female, and doing distance healing, working with the female to help transform the male, works great.
So what I'm hearing is that the healing happens separately in order to bring them back together.
Yes and no. Like when you think of the twins have an energetic pipeline, so everything you do and think and feel, they're getting. So just as you heal, it kind of transfers down the pipe from them and vice versa. But typically the clients are the women, and they're the conduit for us to help heal the males.
Okay.
So it's separate, but it's connected.
What do you do if your male twin flame doesn't want anything to do with you? He's not responding to me or anything. And I've tried everything.
Yeah. Well, think of it as you guys at the soul level are like this. It's only the personality side that's separate. So you can actually energetically hang out together. You can talk to him, you can speak to him, and you can ask his soul, hey, is it okay if I do some healing? Because that's what we came for. We've almost never, maybe twice in all the years we've been working with hundreds and hundreds of twin flames, had somebody refuse healing at the soul level. So you just ask the soul, is it okay if I do some healing? and you'll probably feel a warm opening, and then you just do healing on their behalf. And we see real changes with this. Most of the time, we never speak to the man, ever.
He
But
visits
we hear
me.
women the changes that have happened.
Yeah, like he visits me in my dreams every once in a while, and when he does, it's this profound feeling of comfort and love, like just this bliss feeling, but it's only like in the dream reality. And then I wake up and I'm like, I feel good actually from when I have those dreams. Like it kind of rejuvenates me a little bit, but then there's that sadness of he's not in my reality in the physical right now.
Yeah.
So
one of the aspects relating to that is that you can connect with their soul anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Your soul and their soul, are so close, as Jill was saying, that you say, okay, I'm going to connect with my soul now, my heart and my soul, and then with their soul, and we commune at that level.
And you see, that brings me so much comfort, because even though my twin flame and I, we aren't together, I know that we have this special connection that brings me comfort. I can move on with my day and do what I need to do, and know that we have this connection, and know that eventually, hopefully, we'll find our way back to each other. It's not something that is holding me back. And I don't want it to hold you back either.
right. So what stage is after the separation, or is that we were talking about the crap hits the fan and then it leads to separation?
Yeah,
So,
I want to say one more piece
sure.
before you go there. So if you think in terms of the goal is sacred union, for you to do just healing for yourself and then you get on with your life is a mistake from our view.
Okay.
So you're healing work for yourself and for your twin, and then gradually help them to heal, and you help to make the physical union, more and more possible. So persistence. God rewards those who persist.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So I shouldn't bother him though, like no more messages or whatever, because I haven't in a while. I've just pulled back.
It might be helpful. We'll go through the stages real quick, and then we'll
Okay.
talk about, because most twin flames are separated. We can give you guys some coping tools of how to be with that, because that's a really common thing that we work with, if that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so just stages real quick. So then after that, it's usually a process of coming together and splitting apart, but you're spiraling up, you're going up. So twin flames are ascending. We're ascending. As we go through these initiations, we're going up together, and we actually can see the energy as like a DNA strand, a double helix spiral. So you're in union at the soul level, and the stages are the union comes down as far as it can go into the body until you're in full 3D union. So what Remi and I find is we come together, then we have to clear, and then we go up. And then we get a big dose of light, we go up, and then we have to clear. Then you become more and more in union and in harmony, and the connection gets easier and easier and easier, and more powerful and more full. And then your energy starts to go out more broadly and impact the world more. So the last stages would be, some people call it harmonization, and then radiance.
Do you make it kind of God-based, like, you have God in the picture, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, we do. We're non-denominational, so God, Spirit, the universe, the divine. But absolutely, there is a third energy that is with twin flames, and that is the God force or source or whatever. And that's a very powerful energy. So yeah, we do. Definitely, we work with Spirit.
Well, good. I just wanted to, I guess, clarify, because, I know it's important for me, and I don't know where my twin flame stands on that, but I would hope that it would be a part of the reunion. So we're talking about a reconnection, kind of a reunion-ish phase. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So then, again, some twins just connect energetically and they go as far down as they can. And some twins make it where they can connect more on the physical. And some twins make it to the point where they can live together, work together, all of that. That's quite rare, but remember, we really believe this generation, you know how when geese fly in a formation, there's the first goose, and they're flapping their wings really hard and breaking the ground? That's what twin flames are right now. We're first geese, so we're experimenting. We're really doing something that hasn't been done on the planet before. So a lot of twin flames feel like they're not making a lot of progress, but they actually are, because we're breaking ground.
One of the aspects as well is that there's a lot of various people out in the field talking about twin flame things. A lot of people have videos and so forth out. A lot of those people are separated, and so they talk about just leave your twin and forget about them and so on. And
yeah, because people even say the volatile relationships that come and go aren't healthy. So how do we know if this is healthy even for us, you know?
Yeah, so as you work at healing yourself, the parts of you that freak out, and the parts of you that get depressed and forlorn and so forth, the pain comes up to the surface so much that you don't have any choice. The pain is just too strong.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you go see an individual therapist or a psychic or whatever, most don't know how to help transform that. So one of the choices is we have videos on YouTube at Twin Flame Healers that talk about these various things, and we give we do some healing visualizations that people can test out. We also have webinars on our website, and we also have sessions. But basically, the goal is for us to reduce the part of us that freak out, that get disconnected, and so on. Then we can be more present, more fully for our beloved. And then, and in the process, we can help them to heal more fully.
And I want to address your question because it's really important. Remi addressed one aspect. How can you tell the difference between a twin flame and a dysfunctional, crazy relationship? Because they can be similar in the 3D. The difference is in the twin flame, you are ascending. You are growing, and you can feel that. You're clearing things, and then you feel better. Even if you're not connected in the physical, you keep growing. You go more on your mission. You become more radiant, more powerful, more forgiving. If you're in a dysfunctional relationship, the spiral goes down.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Like,
if you're going up, even with a lot of pain, you know, that's a twin or a strong soul connection. If you're going down, you could just be in a dysfunctional relationship.
Yeah.
But even dysfunctional relationships can help us healing grow.
Yeah, and that makes sense because even though it's this bad relationship coming and going, and sometimes it feels like a waste of time, I always get out of it something more powerful, stronger, better. So that makes sense.
Yes. And remember, too, that twin flames are here to break down old templates that don't work. Well, how do you do that? You have to live them a little bit. So, you know, it's very common for twin flames to have come from abusive or dysfunctional childhoods. Well, guess what? It's going to look crazy for a little while because we're healing that stuff. So as you heal that in you, as you help them heal, you're literally helping the planet heal from years and years, generations and generations of, you know, junky programming that is really hurting the planet. So part of that's just part of the deal. We have to live through some of this dysfunction so that we can transform it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. To say too.
Is there a stage after reconnecting and ascending?
It just keeps going. What Remi and I have found, it's like the union just gets more and more, and you go out more and more fully.
Expansion.
So expansion, yeah, that's a good way to put it. So ascension and expansion in just ever increasing spirals is what I would say.
Can one of the questions is, can a person manifest their twin flame?
I'll address that to start off. So my experience. So I was solo. I was single and for a while, and then I went to see a psychic because I was really yearning for a relationship, and this psychic said, connect with that woman over there.
Not me, somebody else.
Somebody. And I very soon I found, oh my gosh, this is not a fit whatsoever. So I became really upset, and I became mad at the universe. I said, don't bug me. I only want either leave me alone or bring me a fabulous relationship, nothing else. So I don't know what, 2-3 months after that, Jill showed up.
Wow. So they have to get to like a breaking point where they're like, I've had it with these crap relationships and I'm ready for the real thing.
There you go, universe. I'm ready for the real thing.
Yeah.
So that's one aspect, but also there's some things that some people can do to you call in, you know, some people can call in your soulmate or your twin flame and so forth, right?
Oh, there's this
so
book.
they're connecting in more and more fully at the soul level with spirit, and send it out from there. Increases the likelihood. So how successful that is, that's not an area that we work with much, so we can't really comment on that.
I will comment about that because there are some people out there on the web who says, I'll help you manifest your twin flame. I just don't think it works like that. Like what Remi was saying is, you know, there is a point of personal readiness to meet the twin. and that's the line in the sand or whatever. But you have to be at a certain level of development to handle it at all. So the universe protects us. If you're not truly ready to meet your twin, obstacles will come and all that. And twin meetings are very, very orchestrated at the level of the soul. So our higher selves orchestrate it, and they wait until at least one of them can handle the intensity. That's our experience. So there are things you can do to speed up readiness, but you have to be to a certain level in our experience to handle the intensity.
Okay. So we got to wrap up the show now. I wanted to go over really quick. There is this book called Soulmates and Twin Flames by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And that has some prayers and stuff that can help you clear karma and I think help bring the healing in. But you can also work with the twin flame healers, Jill and Remi. Let's show their website if we could. How can people connect with you or get healing? You have a clearing call tonight, a healing call.
Yeah, if you go on our website, we're doing a group healing call for Twin Flames at 5 p.m. Pacific today. Anybody's welcome to join. And we're going to be taking volunteers and doing healing work, and then doing healing work for everybody on the call and their twin flames. So join us if you want a sample of our work. And
I'm going to be on the call, everybody.
I'll be on the call too.
Yay. So thank you for showing that. And please,
since we have like a few more minutes, is there any thing you want to, can you share? Can you do a little prayer with us? Can you, the viewers, the listeners?
I think they did it earlier, but
is there another one you could guide us through?
Do you want to do Iwamas?
Okay. So let's ask to repair your galactic cord, which is from your heart chakra up to the Godhead. Let's ask to repair our grounding cord. Let's ask for all our chakras to be upgraded. Lords of Karma and Archangel Michael. So bigger, more powerful chakras and all the connections to the appropriate places be made. And let's ask for solar light to come in. Imagine there's a giant soul connected to the sun. It fills up your heart chakra more fully. While that's happening, more light coming in, have it come into your body. While that's happening, I'll ask for Archangel Vawamas to open up the various aspects of your energy center, the Sushumna, Nadis, Ida, Pingala, and your meridians. And now connect with your heart chakra. Well, first of all, to your soul. Connect your soul to the soul of your twin flame, whether you've met them already or not. And connect at the heart chakra. Your heart goes to their heart. Whether you've met and have been separated, whether you're together, and help them to heal. Fill them up with heart energy. Let's ask for Kuan Yin to help to heal the energy for them at the inner child level. Parts of them that are freaking out, that are afraid, too much energy. The goddess is too big a handful, etc. Feeling unworthy, inadequate, all of those things. So we're doing a really quick version right now, but just to give you a little flavor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, I gotta say, next week we're gonna be talking about the Homeless Goddess Project, the 1% campaign, and the Multicultural Fashion Gala. Thank you so much, Jill and Remi, for your time and for being with us today, sharing your light and prayers.
You're welcome. Our pleasure. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. It's been a blessing. Thank you, Anna, for being here today.
Thank you for having me again. I always learn so much being here. So,
Yay.
And now I'm going to go out and do some healing work.
Yay.
Hopefully,
Let's all
and
do
he
healing
will
work.
feel it too. And hopefully, we'll be together sooner rather than later.
Thank
you
you.
hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you to my audience for watching the show. Please watch next week. Call to action is get some healing done on yourself. And thank you to my great guys in the back, the operators, for doing a great job and getting this to work on Skype. So, all right. Bye, everybody. Love you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Tell us all your dreams and don't let it stop. You've been called to love and called to share by holding.
You are watching T Radio V. Radio and TV.